All right, so yes, this is Three Kings Boxing Pep Talk UK. As always, my man Pro V's in the building. There ain't no boxing, but we don't care because we are boxing heads. You know what I'm saying? Now, with all the bad things that happened with COVID-19, one of the good things is about COVID-19 is I finally get to talk more to my homie from across the pond.
Just make clear up one thing. I'm wearing all red, but I ain't a blood. Just to clear it up.
That's right.
Clear it up. What's going
right.
on, bro? Pep Talk Free King. What's happening?
Hey man, you know what? It's I'm going crazy, man. No boxing. No boxing. No boxing. It's killing me. Real, it's killing me, bees. I don't know what to do, man.
Listen, there's no boxing, but there has been a few rumors here and there about a potential later in the year Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook. Chocolate brownie for all. I'm gassed. I'm excited. If that happens, end of the year, wow, we have some mega fight ahead of us.
What weight class is that going to happen at? 147 or 154?
Apparently 47. 147.
Can Kell Brook get down to 147?
What I would say is, okay, this fight was meant to potentially happen last year, I believe, because Kell Brook traveled to the Amir Khan fight versus Terence Crawford to try and secure that happening. However, I think after a few talks and whatever, it never materialized for one reason or another. I think the Amir Khan thing, it looked like Kell Brook was going to fight Amir Khan, and that fell through again, and the whole situation went up in the air. But if it's going to happen this year, Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook, that's going to be a very interesting fight. 47. I mean, what do you think?
You know what? I think Amir Khan should take a fight first at 147 just to see how he feels, because he hasn't been at 147 since Earl Spence.
Oh, you mean Kell Brook? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Kell Brook. Yeah, he should take a fight at 147 first to see how his body's gonna feel, because he hasn't been at 147, I think, since Earl Spence.
3 years, a long time.
That's a long time, and I just would like to see him take a tune-up. Nobody extremely dangerous, but somebody that'll test him to see how he looks at 147. But now I will say this though. I do think he'll probably give Crawford more of a fight than Amir Khan. I definitely believe that. That is something I do believe. I believe he'll give you, because a lot of people get on him about the Earl Spence fight. And here's my thing with the Earl Spence fight. His other eye got messed up in that fight. And he didn't quit in the Golovkin fight. His corner quit. So I didn't blame him for not wanting to go through the fire like that a second time. I didn't blame him for that. And I say this all the time, man. Everybody always got something in them to go through it once. Seldomly, rarely are you going to want to suffer that type of thing a second time. So I wasn't mad at if I didn't think he quit. I thought the corner jumped up. But anybody that wants to get on him about quitting, I'm like, man, I'm not going to get him about that, because that's the second time in a second fight that he had to deal with possibly losing his eye. I can't get mad at the guy if he decides, you know what, I'm not willing to do this a second time.
And I think if boxing fans understood the story of the eye surgery, they'd understand that, look, it's no joke. They actually took out his eye to operate on his eye. He said that on a podcast, Toe to Toe Ringside, Sky Sports' podcast. And when I heard that, I was like, mate, no wonder. We don't play boxing, and there's a reason why. So it's not a matter of quitting, but listen, let somebody take your eye out and operate on your eye and understand how it is. It's a serious thing.
Yeah. And here, the funny thing about that is, up until that moment, he was fighting hard with Earl Spence. Like, there was a point where I even had Kell up on the early part of the fight. I thought Kell was winning, and then Earl, started coming on, man. But I just think that he will give Terence Crawford a better fight, and he's a name. And right about now, Crawford needs a name. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, the guys he's been fighting at 147, nobody knows who these guys are. You know, they just don't know who they are. You know, so he needs a name. And you know, Kell Brook is a former champion at 147. Amir Khan didn't even win a belt at 147. So you're fighting a former champion at 147. You know, he's the name. And hopefully he comes in, and like I say, I think he'll give Crawford a better fight than Amir Khan.
Definitely, and a lot of people talk about Crawford's size at the weight as well. Okay, he's fought no one, but people reference the fact that he was dropped. Well, would you call that a drop in the last fight against that Mean Machine guy?
Listen, Terence Crawford definitely got hurt. I don't care what he says. He got hurt. I know he like to say, I didn't get hurt. No, dog. When your knees, you know, when your body do this, you got
and this is the thing. So, to be honest, maybe Top Rank have understood that, look, he's been a master, 140 pounds, moving up in weight at that elite level where there's some brilliant fighters to kind of work him through the weight class. Let him fight guys that they know that he can beat, so he can get ready for the big tests that come ahead. I mean, Errol Spence Jr. is no joke. He's no joke. You know what I mean? He's a bigger guy than 147, but gets down to the weight. Same thing as Kell Brook. These guys against a smaller Terence Crawford are going to cause some problems. They're going to give him a competitive fight. So for me, yes, Terence Crawford does need that big name. And Kell Brook, at the tail end of his career, is exactly that. He's had the Amir Khan. Now, if he's going to fight Kell Brook, it makes a lot of sense. However, for me, I love Terence Crawford. Let's not get twisted, yeah? That's the best fight I've seen live, right? Mm. However, I believe Kell Brook still has something in the tank, and he hits accurately, and he can bang out. That's for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's gonna. You know, you make a good point about when you look at the skill set from a skill standpoint. Kell Brook, just from a skill, Amir Khan. As much as you know, I give Amir Khan a lot of credit. You know, the guy knows his chin is suspect, and he gets in the ring. But Amir Khan at one point only had fast hands. You didn't see a lot of technical stuff when it came to Amir Khan. I mean, like when he was at 140, you saw him be more technical. At 147, he relied more on his hand speed, and you could always catch him. That's when Danny called him. You could always catch him because he was sitting in the pocket too long, trying to get off that hand speed combinations. So you could time him. But Kell Brook is a little bit different. If you go watch when Kell Brook fought Gennady Golovkin, he was successful because he was giving Golovkin angles. Like you said, Kell Brook he's accurate with that uppercut. You know, he employs more tricks of the trade when he's in there, just like when he fought Sean Porter. He knows to exploit and how to play more trick trade. So he's a crafty guy. And that's the kind of fighter that Terence Crawford needs right now at 147. Is, like you said, a guy that's until his career, not a pushover, still has something left, and crafty, and has a good skill set. So that's why I think that I believe Kell Brook could do better than anybody that Terence Crawford has fought at 147 so far.
100%. And I think this Kell Brook is being in shape for a longer period of time. Usually, between fights, he blows up a couple of stone up and he has to come all the way down. I know from seeing him in the Ingle gym maybe 8 months ago that he was looking to maintain his weight. He looked great, and he's been managing his weight in between 147 pounds and 154 the whole time. Okay. So this fight, Terence Crawford, he's not going to have to do such a big job to get down to fight him. And he'll be a lot more energized and hydrated for that fight.
Oh, okay. Definitely. Okay, that's good to hear, because I saw a video. I actually wrote the article on it when he was talking about wanting to fight. You know, he wanted a rematch with Errol Spence. And he said in the video, listen, I'm staying in shape. I'm fluctuating. He says I'm staying in between 147 and 154 to be ready for anything at all times. So that's good. And I also think this is the first time in a long time we've seen Kell Brook healthy. Like no injuries, no nagging injuries, no lingering injuries. You know, he seems like he's healthy, and he's in better spirits. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like so he's healthy, he's in better spirits. So that's good to see, man. Will Amir Khan ever fight him though? Will Amir Khan ever fight Kell Brook?
Everyone answers that question all the time. Will these two fight? Maybe, but the problem is, by the time they fight, as the public lost total interest in the fight. That's the thing. But with this pandemic that we've just gone through, listen, I'm thirsty for a big fight. I'm thirsty. Yeah, any fight. I'll take Khan versus Brook. I'll take it straight away. Yeah, I don't care. I'm thirsty right at the moment. Yeah. So I'm saying Eddie Hearn made reference to the fact that because of this pandemic, this global pandemic, the big fights are likely to happen if we recover a lot quicker. There's no more lengthy negotiations and jousting for position. People are going to want to recover the money they've lost and make these big fights. So, listen, man, throw it in the bag, man. If Khan Brook, let's go, man. I'm ready. I think it could happen. I think it could happen.
Nah, I have to agree with Eddie because you have to do something to get the fan. Because right now, I honestly can't say. I think guys like us, we're like old money, right? So the sport knows they'll always get that. They'll get us old money. It's the new money who may have moved on, right? So you're right. They may have realized, listen, we got to get everybody back into the sport. We got to get all the money that we lost from canceled fights, re-giving out tickets and all of that. We got to get that back. So, yeah, I can most definitely see out the gate, like you said, a big fight, or I'm not going to say a mega fight, but a big enough fight where people's like, all right, yo, I'm coming to that fight. All right, yo, I'm going to that. And it might be a situation you're going to see them. You might see 2-3 of those type of fights in a month. You know what I'm saying?
And to be fair, when Wilder and Fury fought twice, but within a year, I have to commend those guys because you know what? There were easier fights out there for both of them, and they worked it in a way that they met twice and potentially going to meet again end of this year. And for me, that whole experience, that whole pre-fight build-up and big nights like that where the best fights the best is exactly what the fans want now, and they crave that. And I don't think we're going to get away now. I don't think the promoter's going to get away now with mismatching. Now, the networks as well, the TV networks as well, they're probably suffering right now with regards to that. And they're going to want to get the viewing numbers back up. So these fights, these big fights, I believe they're going to happen. Like Eddie Hearn says, they're going to happen soon.
Yeah, I think some of the networks that, like, for example, Sky Sports or Box Nation, Matchroom, they were solely about boxing. Then, you have other ones who had boxing on it, but they had other things. Like ESPN did have top-ranked boxing, but they also had other things. So, they're able to hang on. But, I think some of the outlets that solely was boxing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they are hurting. They're looking to have that, that back on. And I'm not gonna even lie, man. I think even to a certain degree, fighters are probably sitting up at home. They can't even go to the gym. So you got fighters sitting up at home, like, man, I want to get back in the gym, because the worst thing for a fighter like this, what's funny is we're really gonna see who's really dedicated to the sport.
100.
Because with all this time off, a lot of guys is either gonna gain a lot of weight.
Marcus Maidana style, yeah?
Yeah. So we're definitely gonna see who's really dedicated to the sport. If guys are staying on point on weight, fine. But I just got a feeling we're gonna hear about, a couple guys that's like fluctuated beyond, like remember that time Billy Joe Saunders went up to 220 pounds? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, so we'll see.
We might see some welterweights become heavyweights, by the time boxing comes back,
Yeah.
But
At the cruiser.
Now, definitely, I think, look, it's a great fight, Brook versus Crawford. Crawford has to deliver against Brook to get that big fight with Errol Spence Jr. because you see Derek James and the whole of that camp saying, look, you need to get your weight up to fight me. They basically said that. And if he wants that mega fight and that mega payday, he's going to have to go through Kell Brook. But Kell Brook ain't lying down because Kell Brook wants to become a 2-time world champion. So the viewers and the boxing fans will buy into this fight big time. It's got to happen. Interesting point from Bob Arum. He said that he doesn't see Kell Brook chickening out of the fight like Amir Khan now. Well, Bob Arum don't hold back. Bob Arum is just like straight. He's a straight G with it. He's just like, look, this is what I think I'm going to say. I don't care. But that's interesting. Well, look, Kell Brook will 100% fight his heart out. Yeah, I'm not dismissing Amir Khan, but Kell Brook, it would have to get stopped, or the towel have to get thrown. Yeah, or he'll have to be injured. That's the type of character he is.
Okay.
So, but he's going to be up against a master craftsman in Terence Crawford, because when I watched him fight Amir Khan, he systematically, whilst the fight was ongoing, took Amir Khan apart systematically. I saw combinations, the footwork, the inside work, the outside work, the strength of a smaller man. And I said, this guy is an amazing fighter. Remember Dave Coldwell saying Crawford is the best fight I've seen live. Look, that is the best fight I've seen live. Technically amazing.
Yeah. You mentioned Derek what he said. Bomac even them said, like, both camps are saying things, and I'm just like, yo, man, y'all stop, because Bomac said something like, we don't need Errol Spence. We'll make the Hall of Fame without Errol Spence. And I'm like, nobody. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, yo, these two guys, they need to get it on and get to fighting, And I know Derek, and I like Derek, but Derek saying, he got to get his weight up. I get what he's saying, but at the same time, this is a former undisputed champion and probably number one pound for pound guy in boxing. He ain't got to get his weight up like that, man. Because
you know what? Because he said what were the viewing numbers for the Amir Khan fight? He said the viewing numbers were poor for Crawford versus Khan last year, and that's what he means by get your weight up. And he said
Well, here's the thing. I understand that, but I remember prior to Floyd Mayweather fighting Manny Pacquiao, and I think it was Marcos Maidana, because he rematched Maidana, and Pacquiao fight. Their viewing numbers wasn't that high, but then when they fought each other, it went through the roof. So same thing with Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. It was the first time neither one of these guys had a pay-per-view, right? Mikey Garcia didn't generate a buzz like that to where you thought that pay-per-view would be that successful, neither did Earl. But when you made the fight, it went through the roof like that. So, for me, I don't look at the numbers the way they look at it, because one thing I know is when you make a fight and it's a fight everybody wants, it don't matter. Like, this dude could have never sold out in his life, but if it's a fight everybody wants, man, them numbers gonna shoot, man. So, but I want to see these two guys fight because they're the best dudes. Like, this is, and Bob said it too. He said this is our generation of Leonard versus Hearns. That's our generation of Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Trinidad. Well, y'all generation, because I've seen both of them damn fights. So yeah.
No, definitely. You know what? Interesting points that you made. Look, it's about demand and supply. Everyone wants to see that fight. So who cares what happened before? I never really looked at it like that at that angle, but I understand what you're saying. I think from the Errol Spence camp, they're probably talking about financial percentages. Like, hold on, I ain't gonna do 50-50 with you because you know my numbers last time, blah blah blah. I can see that's the conversation, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
It's all about the pathos.
yeah, that's the groundwork Derek James is laying down. Like, and I think people are misunderstanding. He's laying down that groundwork of don't come talking 50-50. That's not happening.
What would you see? What would you think was reasonable for Errol Spence and Crawford, percentage wise?
I would say more along the line of 65-35.
Yeah.
60-40.
Yeah.
I don't think 70-30. Some people might agree with me. I don't think 70-30 is fair because Terence is a former two-division champion. Well, because he won belts in 2 other divisions. He's won belts in 3 divisions total. I don't want to get twisted, but I'm saying he's a former champion, and he was a unified champion at 135, and he was an undisputed champion at 140. That holds a lot of weight. And you're a champion, and you're a champion at 147. So that holds a lot of weight, and he should be accommodated for that. That's why 70-30. I think I would be upset if they offered him 70-30. I mean, I can see him doing it because, you're going to offer what you're going to offer. Oscar De La Hoya was trying to give GGG a 90-10 offer. Remember? And you're going to see if they bite. But I think fair for me is 65-35, 60-40. That's fair. But 70-30, I don't think that's fair.
No, 100%. 100%. I was kind of thinking along the same lines. You have to respect what Crawford's done before, you know what I mean? 2 weights, he's shown that he's the Don.
Yeah.
Become undisputed at 140. I don't care who you are. That's not easy feat. Who's actually becoming undisputed in their weight class? Not many people are there.
No.
So that shows the mark of a fighter. He's a special fighter. It's just that he hasn't had that platform to really. He's on PBC right now. Let's tell the truth. If Crawford was on PBC, wow, man. Wow. They know what to do.
If Crawford was with PBC, where in a division where they dominate, it would be just like what we see what Lomachenko is going through at 135 in a division that Top Rank pretty much dominates or can maneuver. Like, Bob has 135, but he can also maneuver a lot in 135 because he was able to make a lot of fights with Eddie Hearns, right? So if Crawford was with PBC, yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's the reason why Errol Spence is benefiting from that. Listen, man, he made a good fight with Mikey Garcia. He made another fight with Sean Porter. He'd probably make another big fight with Danny Garcia, and then he can make a legacy building fight with Manny Pacquiao. So he has a lot of options, on his plate. So yeah, I agree with you. If he was with PBC, he would be, because it's the division, where they dominate. Look at what Beterbiev is going through right now, light heavyweight. That's all Top Rank. So Beterbiev is having the time of his life. Like, this is a guy whose early part of his career, he wasn't even fighting a lot because of, issues like that. Now, he's looking at probably trying to become, undisputed champion at light heavyweight. So yeah, I have to agree with that. If he was with PBC, he would definitely benefit from that. But at the same time, I just feel that I love the sport, but sometimes it's the business part of the sport that gets in the sport way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you and I know you remember the whole Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao era.
Yeah.
There was only 2 guys being built in the whole sport. Like, oh, that's wrong. We should be building everybody. So, I just really hate that. This is that's why I'm like, the Tyson Fury thing is so beautiful, and these upsets you see, they're beautiful because other people are starting to pay attention to other people now. So yeah, I don't. Terence Crawford, and he should have, in my opinion, if you wanted those fights, you should have went over to PBC. I get why you signed with Top Rank. I understand why. But if you wanted those fights, then sometimes you got to go where the market is, man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what, and you see, that's what Josh Warrington's done. That's what Billy Joe's done. They've gone over to Matchroom because of those things. Yeah, you know, you see, Billy Joe couldn't get the fight of Canelo. He couldn't get the fight of Canelo for years. And potentially, if we never had this pandemic, he would have had the fight with Canelo, Cinco de Mayo. So, I don't know, man. You gotta be on the right platform, you know, depending on where you want to go.
Let me ask you.
Shout out Rank, shout out PBC, because both banners have got some tremendous fighters on their books. Matchroom, Queensbury. Hey, everyone's got tremendous fighters, man. And I like what Top Rank are doing. They've had some really good shows that I've been to and stuff. They got, I mean, for them to sign Josh Taylor, it's ridiculous. Josh Taylor's a hell of a fighter. A hell of a fighter.
Yeah, for them to get Josh Taylor, I was stunned. I was stunned. I'm like, that's the future, right? And then think about it, man. They get Josh Taylor, so you know what fight they're looking to make a mega fight for all the marbles between Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez. Yeah. And that's, I agree with you. Josh Taylor, I remember when Josh Taylor was coming up, and I remember when they pit him up against O'Hara Davies.
Yeah.
I remember watching that face-off. And I told somebody, I said, yo, man, Josh Taylor gonna beat that boy because O'Hara Davies think he can punk him. And I'm looking at, I'm like, Josh ain't worried at all. He's like, and I'm saying, O'Hara Davies think he can punk this boy. And Josh, that was his coming out party. That O'Hara Davies fight was Josh Taylor's coming out party, man. So, yeah, he's a hell of a fighter, dog. Hell of a fucking fighter, man.
He's a hell of a fighter. And, you know, it's interesting because that fight was built up quite nicely. There was a lot of animosity in the build-up prior to that fight. Yeah. And there, O'Hara Davies, we talked to a lot of people around the gyms prior to that fight. Even to this day, they'll say O'Hara Davies was a hell of a talent, or is a hell of a talent. It's just obviously, you know what I mean, it was a stumbling block. But shout out both guys, and I respect both because they both took chances. There was no ducking. They both took a chance earlier on. And I've seen guys who have won a fight earlier on and someone who's lost a fight earlier on. And the person that's lost can still come back and reach the summit, you know? So, yeah, man, like, I have to big up both fighters, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Young guy. Well,
I give him a lot of credit because that was even when you look at that fight on paper, that was still a hard fight. So I definitely give O'Hara Davies credit for taking that fight. And I give Josh Taylor credit for taking that fight. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing when Josh Taylor entered the WBSS tournament. And I give him credit just like my man Regis. Both of them guys wanted to face each other. They're like, listen, he's the best. That's the guy. I remember interviewing Regis, and Regis said it. He said, listen, I don't care who I fight, but in the finals, I want to fight Josh Taylor. I want to fight that guy right there. So, yeah, I got to give Josh, listen, man, any guy who knows this is dangerous fight, but still takes that fight, I give him a lot of credit, man. I give him a lot of credit for that.
100%, man. Well, you know what, Bo, is, you know, we could probably politic, you know, for 3 hours straight, man, you know, but yeah, man, it's been a pleasure, you know, about.
Yeah, I got one thing I got to ask you. One thing I want to run by you, man.
All right.
If Katie Taylor defeats Amanda Serrano, does she surpass Clarissa Shields as one of the best women fighters in boxing?
Listen, if I answer that question, I'll probably be beaten up. You know, look, do you know what? What I would say is, look, it's a subjective conversation. You know,
Okay.
some people have their opinion and say Katie Taylor's the best. Some people are going to say Krista Shields is the best, etc., etc. Cecilia Brækhus is the best. Some people are going to say different stuff. All right. What I do is I like to give props to each fighter and say, you know what, you're a hell of a fighter. You're a hell of a fighter. They probably won't meet because there's such a difference in weight. So there's no way of proving it. But for me, I don't know. They're excellent fighters in their own right. And I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Carissa, man. She'll punch. I know she'd like beat me up if she sees it. So you know what? Nah, and you know what? Massive props to Katie Taylor as well, because you know what? Both of them are really nice people. Like I like them. Do you know what I'm saying? They're really nice people. Katie Taylor, as well as being a fantastic fighter, she's a really nice girl. She's a really nice girl. Krista Shields as well. Krista Shields, she speaks her mind and stuff like that. But I think she's a nice person. I think she's all right. I think she's all right. Sometimes people don't be fooled by what you see on the camera. Sometimes it's entertainment. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It's entertainment. But yeah, they're both great fighters. In conclusion, I'm just sitting on the fence there. Sorry.
Oh man! All right, okay, all right. I got you, man. Well, go ahead on and take us out, man.
All right, Free Kings Boxing. Subscribe. Check out their page on Facebook. They're doing big things out there from the US, across the pond. Pep Talk UK, representing the UK. Check us out on YouTube. Hit the bell, subscribe. It's a joint thing right now. We out here. Bo, Pro Bees.